you? I hope that you are doing wonderful. We have a fun topic to discuss today, but of course, before we get going, we have to say it no matter what. Welcome to another day of the Purpose Experience, where we have another day to live out our purpose and to give it 120%. Come on, say it again. I have been up since 4:45 and I am feeling great. Say it with me now. Today is another day to live out my purpose and to give it 120%. You ought to be feeling great, ready to execute on your intentions for today, and they ought to be marvelous ones. Good morning to the lovely Rita, my good friend. Go ahead to the chat. You already know we have to acknowledge it. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for in this moment? I am grateful that I forced myself to go to bed last night. It was about 8:30 I was in the bed. 9 o'clock I was fighting myself to go to sleep, but I stuck with it. What are you grateful for today? Because I knew I wanted to get up earlier. And in getting up earlier, right? Say it, Rita. In getting up earlier, I just feel like I'm not rushing. I had a good workout. I listened to, this morning was Eric Thomas. And then I just needed something different. So I turned on the Beyonce Homecoming documentary. If you know me, you know Beyonce. It's something about watching her work ethic that just pushes me to a whole nother level. So that is definitely what happened. Hello to the mobile spa. Awesome. You got to tell me about your business. So I'm feeling great, energized, and excited for the lineup we have today. I listened to you guys' suggestions, and they said, let's talk about Lori Harvey and her dating. And I think we are looking at it all wrong. But before we get into that, we got to get into our word. LaVante, why do you stay on the same word all week? I don't know about you, but sometimes it just hit differently. Sometimes I hear something differently, or it impacts me in a different way. So we'll be looking at Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Whoo! Goodness. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes during the day, I struggle with energy. I struggle to know if I'm making the right decisions in the work that I do. But something about when I just read that line, he will never leave you nor forsake you, just gave me chills, and I'm excited. Morning, Tasha. Letitia, I am grateful that you woke up too. So let's go ahead and do our reflection. I hope you have your pens and papers in your journal. Life is often unpredictable. You might find yourself in a place you never imagined you'd be in at this point. You might find yourself discouraged about a job you didn't get, the spouse you haven't found yet, the disappointment of your current marriage, or even the fear of recent diagnosis of you or a loved one. You can find refuge in Christ, knowing that he goes behind, with, and before you and will never leave you. He's walking your journey right along with you and knew about the circumstances you will find yourself in long before they ever came or will come to be. So I'll go ahead, ladies. Gentlemen, I want you to reflect, get your journal out. What is weighing in your heart right now? What is it that you're kind of feeling heavy about? We got to get it out. We got to acknowledge it. We got to process through it so that we can be in a better space. I love those moments. I was reflecting on this last night. Those moments where I can just be by myself and sit still and just reflect. And then after I acknowledge what it is I'm feeling, kind of look for that resource to pour into me to kind of uplift me. You got to do it, guys. You got to do it. Good morning, Allison. Remember, ladies, gentlemen, we're getting our water today. And I told y'all I would do it. I got my green smoothie. Hold on, let me get here. This is the best batch I've ever made. Usually the taste is a little off, I'm not gonna lie. So for the green smoothie, I put water in the, what's it called? The blender. A handful of spinach, the fresh spinach. Then I add whatever fruit I want. So this one has frozen I get the frozen bags. They come really good. Frozen strawberries, frozen bananas. I put some flaxseed in it and a little bit of stevia in the raw sugar to give it just a little bit of taste. And then I just, I have a couple of these in the fridge. So feel free, if you would like to get you a green smoothie. I'm on a mission, okay? Now let's go ahead and say our affirmations. I forgot to put them up here, but we can go through them. I am wonderfully made. I am worthy. I am powerful. And I am more than enough. You better say it. You better say it. You are about to conquer this day. It is going to be awesome. Let's go ahead to our inspiration. We have the same ones we had before, but I wanted to shed light for those who are in business, looking to start a business. The Delaware Score, sorry I couldn't make it bigger, but if you Google it, Delaware Score is an awesome resource here where for new business owners, if you're looking to come up with ideas for a business, you just need some guidance. They have a series of workshops happening. I want to say, I have to look at the dates again, but I believe they're next week. They're all coming up for the month. They have a series of workshops that you can attend via Zoom to help you in your entrepreneur goals. So again, that is Delaware Score. You guys know I always talk about also the Women's Business Center and the awesome resources and classes that they have. So go ahead, check it out, Delaware Score, the Women's Business Center, because I just want to make sure what I know, I'm connecting you guys to. And also, and I told y'all, me and my girl Rita, we going. I looked at the flyer again today and got excited. She Favor is happening in New York, May 27th through the 29th, and it is a women's conference. We are going to be, I want to say, more than empowered, right? We are going to revive, rejuvenate. We're going to find ourselves fully up in that conference. All you have to do is visit their website, www.shefavor.org. Get your ticket today. Book your hotel room. It's going to be a marvelous time. And as well, all you have to do, I have tickets to this event and I would just love to give them to a woman, a young lady who's like, you know what? I want to strengthen my leadership skills. I want to, make this look better for me, make it look different for me. It's happening this Saturday, February 27th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. of speed networking, a bunch of women coming together to encourage and inspire one another. All you have to do if you want a ticket, I have 4 tickets left to give away. All you have to do is inbox me and say why you need this ticket. Why now? Why you? That's it. Not long at all. And then lastly, on our website, if you're like, you know what? I need a journal to help guide me through my one-on-one. The gift would be perfect for you. It talks about forgiving. It works on your next goals, your purpose, all of that. And then for our couples who are on the verge of just letting go and giving up, is an amazing couples workbook that I came up with. Some of the techniques that I use throughout therapy are in that book. So go ahead, head to www.LaVanteDorsey.com and check that out. I am so excited today as we go to Lori Harvey, the 5 stages of dating. Now, for some of you guys that don't know Lori Harvey, she's Steve Harvey's daughter, and she has been a hot topic. She is dating the lovely Michael B. Jordan, but she's been under fire because everyone said she's been dating a lot of people. And I said, well, hold on now. Now, don't hate on her like that, because I think we are looking at this all wrong. And to really understand it, we have to look at the 5 stages of dating and how they kind of come about. And what I think we're missing here is that she is following the art of dating. Too often we jump into relationships and ignore some stuff, ignore some flags. But to me, of course, I don't know her life, but I'm going to just go off the analysis of the very basic sense. To me, she is taking the time to say, you know what? I saw something here I didn't quite like. I saw something here I didn't quite want, and I'm moving on. So how can we be mad at her for dating sampling, trying things out to see what she wants, right? And I know how we like to do. Well, she's dating all these high celebrities. Well, that's who's in her environment. That's who she knows. I mean, half of us, myself included, we done dated half of Delaware. But come on, don't talk about ourselves there. But we have to look at this thing different. So when we look at stage 1 of dating, that is the attraction and romance stage. Now, you guys know this stage. It's where you got the butterflies. Y'all are seeing each other all the time. You're on cloud 9. We also like to call this the representative stage. You're getting that version of the person that just seems perfect. You see the red flags, because I always say, did your gut tell you something else? And each time in session, everyone says, yes, it did. So you see those, but the biological forces, the attraction, the connection that's happening so strong there has you ignored in this attraction and romance phase. So we get to the point where everything, she said, not half a Delaware. We get to the point where everything just seems so blissful and lovely in the attraction and romance stage. You don't see anything wrong with the partner. Heck, y'all, I remember, and a lot of people would say this when I was dating the man, I would say, yeah, we don't argue at all. Like, we good. We know how to resolve conflict. You know that stage I'm talking about. Don't say, have I been there by myself? If you feel me, go ahead and say, I've been there, sis. That stage where everything is just roses and blossoms and the attraction and the romance is so strong that although those factors are there, of which you can see some unhealthy parts about them, but in your mind, you're like, well, that's going to change. Just give them some time. We can work together. I can nurse them. I can help them to get to a better version in this first stage, right? And then we go on to our next stage where reality sits in. And in that reality, Tasha said, I feel you've been there for sure. In that reality stage is where we see, hold on now. Wait a minute. Hold on. Them characteristics that I push to the back, they're creeping their way forward. And it's not that you're not still attracted to the person. It's not that you're not still in like and love, but now you're around each other so much that those little things that they do are starting to make you feel like, hold on now. Them behaviors, can I live with these behaviors? And this is where I say Lori Harvey must got it right. She must understand the formula. She is saying, you know what? I'm seeing these signs in these early stages. It just so happens her relationships are more public, but she's seeing those signs early and she's doing what? She's saying, I can't do this. Because what do? What have I done? We say, no, I'm going to stick it out. They're going to change. And you already know what happens. You already know what happens. Disappointment. Right? Come on. I know y'all have been there. And you're looking back, looking at that first stage of attraction and romance, thinking, well, what happened to that person? Are you even the same person that I first started dating? And again, it's not that the person is horrible. And in essence, they showed you who they are from the beginning. And one thing I really harp on in our therapy sessions, and we know this, think about when you try to change a behavior. It takes a lot of work, time, focus. There's stages to change, right? We got pre-contemplation, which is where you're thinking about changing, but you're not really going to take action. We got contemplation, where okay, I'm warming up to the idea. I'm more likely to do this thing, right? And then as we circle through, there's going to be that action stage, but we can easily, in that action stage, relapse and go back to, all right, no, I ain't fully buying into this. So the behavior change doesn't stick. It's the stages of change. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that the next time that we kind of talk about what it takes to change a behavior. I'm going to show you guys the map and the chart of behavior changes. So if we get to that action stage to change a behavior, but it doesn't stick because we haven't fully bought into it, you're going to revert back to what you know. That's why when I do couple sessions, from the gate, I say, look, you have to commit to at least 8 to 10 sessions, because that's when we're really going to see change. Because in the first 2 couple sessions that we do together, all right, we might get some tweaks, but we are creatures of habit. So we're going to slide back to what we know. Then by the 4th session, all right, we're seeing a little more. We're seeing some growth. But again, we're creatures of habit. So we revert back to what we know. But once we can really put the work in 8 to 10 therapy sessions, that's when we can see it stick more. And what's happening here is we are accepting people who are in the pre-contemplation stage where you see the change you want them to make, but they're not even considering it. Come on, do you feel me? Y'all following me? Is this clear? Can you see the clinical definitions of what's happening day to day in these relationships? We see something. We saw the red flags, but we said, okay, that can change. But what we don't take into account is how difficult change is. Think about, if you're anything like me, think about how many diets you done went on, and it's a struggle to stick with. Change is hard. So what we can't do is ignore the red flags. When you were attracted, when y'all were all juices and berries and goodness, right? You saw the red flags. Your gut, your instinct said, hold on. But you were so infatuated that you ignored it. And then reality began to set in, and whether it be those societal norms, that family member saying, girl, your biological clock is ticking, something made you stay, knowing good and darn well you should have left. And that's where I say, Lori must be on to something. And now we see, I don't know what's going to happen with her and Michael B, but we see they in a bliss right now. And maybe if she can be in the stage with him and say, well, no, this ain't it either, and she'll leave. I don't know. But I'm analyzing it again on the surface of it all. So then we get to the disappointment stage where, again, it's not that you hate the person. It's not that they're horrible. You just find out that they're not the compatible one, that you're not compatible together, and that they're not what you thought that they would be. So then we go to either in the disappointment stage, y'all going to fight and figure this bad boy out, or you're going to say in a peaceful way, this just isn't working. And again, that is okay. A lot of us are not taking the time to just say, this isn't working. And the thing you have to hone in on is, what is that small voice? What is that part of you? What is it, whether it be, like I said, your mom, societal views, you want a baby, they bring you financial stability, you don't want to be alone, they're giving you affirmations that you should be giving to yourself. You're looking for, what is it that they are giving you that you in turn need to give it to yourself? What outside force is pushing on you to stay in something that you don't even need to be in? I'm talking today. I hope everybody's getting it. I hope, share it out. I hope so. Okay. So in the disappointment stage, you're either going to fight it out and make it work, or you're going to leave and call it separate. So then once you say, you know what, we're going to work this thing out. That's usually maybe 2-3 years in that you can kind of see this. You get the stability. We didn't overcame some stuff. We didn't overcome me looking at you like I love you, to me not liking you, to now we done fought through some stuff and we're in a good space. And we got that stability. And once we pass through the stability stage is when we can really focus on the commitment to one another and the relationship, where trust building, we got each other's back, all of that. But many of us are fighting for that stability and that commitment stage, but we ignored all that stuff, those red flags, and we're not happy. So we're never really going to get to that because we're not lining up. We're trying to accept someone and fit them into a mold that just really isn't who they are. And they have shown to not be the person that I need. Now, I know I'm not off target here because I have these conversations often in my therapy sessions. And what I try to hone in on is following your gut and your instinct when something's saying, nah, this isn't quite right. Versus following those other little things I listed, those small voices that say, stay in this, things can change. Because remember, change is difficult to do. So chances are, and I also find it amazing too. So I'm 34 and I have a behavior that I've been doing for 34 years. 6 months ain't gonna change it. That it's 34 years of a behavior. You gotta put work into this bad boy. And you have to have the mind and the focus and the willingness to change. So if you're in a relationship with someone whose mind isn't even focused on that, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're gonna be in that disappointment stage a lot because they just aren't seeing it the same way that you are. And for you to kind of fake the funk and ignore it is really just hurting yourself. So we don't want to do that. So I want you guys to consider, what stage of the dating are you in? You're probably past, or you're in the initial stage and you need to be looking at some red flags. Are you in the reality then set in and I'm looking at this person sideways? Are you now disappointed and you just need to have that, put your big girl panties on, have that tough talk? Or are you guys the ones who have fought through, you got the stability and the commitment, right? Because that's what we're all fighting for. But we absolutely can't ignore these red flags. I hope y'all got it today. I hope it was good to you, that you share it out. Feel free to, again, don't forget, I have those tickets to the leadership ceremony, leadership workshop, as well as if you have any topics you would like me to discuss. I love to tie in how we can simply be better. Go enjoy your day. You are a winner. You are magnificent. Today will be amazing. Why? Because you are going to make it that way and you are going to live out your purpose and give it 120%. I love you guys. As always, we are here for you if you want those one-on-one sessions with LaVante and Dorsey and Associates. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. My name is LaVante Dorsey, licensed clinical social worker and owner of LaVante Dorsey and Associates. At LaVante Dorsey and Associates, our therapists are seeking to shatter any myths that say it is not okay to not be okay. As adults, youth, and children, we often try to tackle the issues in life alone. I often imagine myself in the ring with my clients, fighting on the many issues that we face. At our practice, our clinicians are experts in a wide variety of clinical interventions to address the needs of the population, whether it be anxiety, depression, relationship issues, whatever you present with, we are here to help. All in all, if you simply need someone to talk to, call or text us today at 302-956-9188 or visit us on the web at LaVante.